Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my new video. So I wanted to talk about the tariffs, especially the tariffs against China. So just to give you a brief history of what's happened, Trump came into office, and within a month or two, he had a bright idea. He decided to tariff the world. And these tariffs were based on some ridiculous formula. And this formula was basically from some guy called Navarro. Navarro wrote a book about how to tariff China or something. And so Trump called him into office, and he had a bright idea to tariff the world and tariff China based on some made up formula. This formula doesn't even exist, it's just a made up formula. And he used this formula to tariff the world, and some of these countries got 60% tariffs, some of these countries got 100% tariffs, some of these countries got 10% tariffs. Even countries that don't have people, like Penguin Island, had tariffs. American military bases, they had tariffs as well. And even against countries where America has trade surpluses with, for example, United Kingdom, Switzerland, even they had the tariffs as well. So it just didn't make any sense. And then they decided to tariff China, and I think it was like 67% or something ridiculous. China retaliated back, and they added some more of their tariffs. Trump added 20% fentanyl tariffs to China. Excuse me. And and I think China retaliated back. Then Trump added, and kept adding ra- percentages on top, and China started retaliating back, and he went back and forth until he reached around 145%. Trump put on China, and China put 125% on America, and that was it. I think Trump was just being a little, school bully, and he was just acting like a kid throwing his toys at the pram. And so it lasted like that for a few weeks. And then suddenly the Americans realized that, oh my God, we need these Chinese products. Where are we going to buy these cheap Chinese products from? Because nowhere else around the world will sell these products for that cheap. And you cannot suddenly change suppliers. It takes months or sometimes even years of work to change suppliers, because what you have to do is you have to go to that country, you have to check the product, you have to find out how they make it, and then you have to find out if that country can do it in bulk, and how they're going to get all the raw materials, how they're going to get the workforce, how they're going to send the delivery. All of this stuff needs planning and hard work and thought. So obviously, lots of companies started panicking. They went to Trump and started complaining, and Trump started to back down. So he sent some delegates over to Switzerland to meet with the Chinese, and they decided to have some meetings, and they rolled back some of the tariffs, and then they went to a meeting in London, and again they rolled back some of the tariffs. Trump was coming out on Truth Social saying, "Ah, we put." I think he said something like, "We put 55% tariffs on China, and China only got 10% tariffs to us." Well, he was just boasting with some of these numbers, but these numbers were basically based on the 20% fentanyl, and also the tariffs that Biden put as well, and also the tariffs that Trump put. But China didn't fight back with tariffs, they fought back with rare earths. So what China did, they basically stopped some of the rare earths going to United States, and other rare earths they needed a license. They have to prove that these rare earths are not going to be used for military purposes. And so American military companies were really suffering because they couldn't get any of these rare earths. And these rare earths, you need them for missiles. You need them for, military and many other high-tech equipment as well. So Trump started panicking, and then I think, you know, so far there's not been any resolutions with the rare earths. Trump said in a Truth Social statement that, oh, China's going to send us rare earths and stuff, but no, there's been no agreement whatsoever. So now Trump is threatening other tariffs on China, mainly because he wants to put secondary tariffs on BRICS countries. He wants to put secondary tariffs on countries that buy oil from Russia, from Iran, and also he wants to put additional tariffs on semiconductors and stuff like that. He hasn't done it yet, and also these tariffs were only meant to last for 3 months. So the 3 months deadline is coming up. So he's either going to extend it or he's going to start another tariff war again. And all the other countries that he started doing a tariff war with, again, he said he's going to do 60 deals in 60 days, and all these other countries were lining up to kiss his ass. All these countries were saying, "Oh, we're going to kiss Trump's ass." And he was just boasting. He was boasting, and he was just coming up with all sorts of lies and uh, you know, imagine a president talking like that in front of people. I mean, who would do a trade deal when you have the president of the United States coming out on, you know, just mocking these countries who wants to do a trade deal with him? He was like, "Oh, they're lining up to kiss my ass." I mean, who would do a trade deal when you have the president saying that to you? The first country that did a trade deal with America is United Kingdom and Starmer. And Starmer looks like the kind of guy who would kiss Trump's ass. So obviously, everybody knows that. But no other country would. I mean, Japan recently pulled out of the trade talk. So did Korea. And EU's not making any headway as well. So all of these countries, they're not making any trade deals with United States. And only one that's done it is United Kingdom. And and that's it. I think America is finished, really. I think all these other countries, what they're doing, rather than doing a trade deal with United States, they are diversifying their trade with other countries, especially China. If you look at the exports in China, they have risen last month. In May, they have risen, and already in June, by they're already passing May figures. I mean, this basically tells you countries are now trading more with China, and all Trump has done is push these countries towards China. And countries are diversifying now because they don't want to be held hostage to Trump and his trade policies. And and it's a shame. And I think this is reflecting in the dollar. If you look at the DXY, the dollar index, you can see the dollar index is going down. There's less countries using the dollar. Meaning that there's less countries trading with the dollar, so the dollar is going down. And if other countries are trading more with China, China will want to trade with the yuan and or the renminbi it's called, but I think internationally it's called the yuan. And and they'll have less use of the dollar. And a lot of countries, if they're losing the dollar, they will buy less bonds in the United States, and they will buy less stocks in the United States. This is why you see the bond price crashing in the United States, because less and less countries need the dollar. Less and less countries are trading with the United States. That means less and less countries will buy bonds. So let me just explain that again. So if you're a country trading with the United States and you sell United States some goods, United States will pay you using the dollar, and with that dollar, you reinvest in United States, and you buy bonds, you buy properties, you buy stocks. So if less countries are using the dollar, if more countries are trading with China, there'll be less need for these countries to hold on to the dollar. So the dollar price goes down, the DXY goes down, and there's less money or the less dollars going into the bond market, which means the bond prices go down. So this is really bad news because America will now need to buy its own bonds. If the bonds mature, so some of these bonds you see they are 2 years, 10 years, 30 years. So a lot of these 10-year bonds or 30-year bonds are maturing. So when they mature, the United States have to pay out. So they have to basically um, print the money to pay people out, or they're going to have to buy their own bonds, and that's what they've been doing. They've been buying their own bonds, and which means the debt is increasing. And so far, the debt has reached 37 trillion, and it's just accelerating. And interest payments alone, it's the highest expense in the U.S. In the U.S. kind of spending. So so the United States is pretty much cooked, guys, absolutely cooked. So I don't know what's going to happen over the next few months. I don't know if Trump is going to be adding more tariffs to China or other countries. But whichever way you look at it, this guy's been an absolute disaster for the economy. Absolute disaster. In his first term, he added loads of inflation, and this inflation started in his first term because of his trade war with China, because of all these he was doing all this money printing during COVID, and he was also basically reduced all the taxes for his businesses and things like that. So he he basically ran up a lot of debt in his first term, which caused a lot of inflation. And now he's doing the same thing. He's absolutely destroying the economy, causing a lot of inflation. Inflation's going up, not down. And this is why the Fed cannot reduce rates because inflation has been going up. And Fed has even said that we cannot reduce rates until inflation goes down, and the inflation is going up because of the tariffs. And so this is bad news, whichever way you look at it. So anyway, guys, that's all for now. Let's carry on the discussion. If you want me to talk more about the economy and trade, let me know, and we'll discuss it. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you soon.